There we go.
There we go. All right, now
you can share screen.
Now I can share screen. Holy cow.
It's a process, people.
It's a process. Lots of busy work.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see it? Do you guys see it?
I do. I just need to. There we go. Yep. We ready to rock and roll, everyone?
I think we are.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for taking a few minutes to join us tonight. I know it's a busy Wednesday, and I know you all have a lot of other things that you could be doing, but we appreciate you taking the time to get on this Zoom or on the live if you're on the live. And I'm assuming if you're here to learn a little bit about the shred. So let's just get right into it. My name is Kristen, and I am a registered dietitian who's been doing a monthly shred. I just finished my 5th year of shredding. So in March, I will be going into my 6th year of shredding. And why do we even need to shred? So really, there's 2 main reasons. And first of all, it's because we're exposed to toxins. They're in everywhere. They're in the air, the water, the soil, the foods we eat, the products that we use, such as plastics, and even the products that we put on our skin. And these toxins end up in our body and wrap up in our fat. Luckily for us, we have a liver, which is our main organ for getting toxins out of the body. But for the liver to do its job efficiently, it must have the right nutrition, which is primarily fruits and vegetables. And this brings me to the second reason that we need to shred, because 90% of us are not eating enough fruits and vegetables. And what we are eating is not as nutritious as it was 50 years ago. And this is due to a lot of reasons, including nutrient depletion in our soil, increased consumption of processed foods, our food being picked before it's ripe and shipped thousands of miles before it's sold, and our access to cheap, fast food. So if we don't get plant nutrition, our body can't properly get rid of toxins. And if toxins build up in our body, it leads to all kinds of complications, including poor energy, poor sleep, health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, digestive problems, autoimmune disease, and even some cancers. So in addition, weight management is much more difficult when we have excess toxins in our body, and here's why. Toxins are fat soluble. This means, as I mentioned before, that toxins wrap up in fat. And when we go on a traditional diet, as is depicted in the top part of the diagram, we burn calories through diet and exercise. But unless we're eating 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, the foods the liver needs to get the toxins out of the body, the toxins stay in the body and seek more fat to wrap up in. And this is what creates that yo-yo dieting that you can see in the top picture as the toxins stay in the body, even though the fat is burned off. And when then toxins encourage more fat to accumulate. On the other hand, if we concentrate our efforts on flooding the body with fruits and vegetables to give the liver the nutrition it needs to get rid of the toxins, the body doesn't have to hold on to the fat, and the fat can more easily be shed, resulting in more efficient fat loss and ultimately easier permanent weight loss, as is depicted in the bottom part of the slide. So you can see that eliminating toxins is a better way to keep the fat off. So the key is to get more fruits and vegetables into our bodies. And I've been a dietitian for 30 years, and this sounds so easy, but ultimately very few people are accomplishing this. Less than 10%, as I mentioned before. And knowing how important this is, the shred is centered around getting as much produce in our bodies as possible. We do this through making fruits and vegetables the foundation of our meals and snacks, and using whole food plant powders to ensure our liver is getting the nutrition it needs to get the toxins out of the body and ultimately to improve our health. So Juice Plus is simply 30 different non-GMO, pesticide and herbicide-free fruits, vegetables, and berries that are ground up and made into powders. They use the whole fruit and vegetable, including the seeds, the peels, the rind, the stem, everything. It's not a substitute for eating fruits and vegetables, but it helps by bridging the gap between the 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables we should be eating and what we're actually eating. It's a simple, easy, and cost-effective way to get a ton of produce into our bodies. So in addition, we also use a plant-based protein powder that puts good calories or macronutrition into our body. It helps us to feel full. It cuts down on food cravings by stabilizing blood sugar, and it supports gut health because it contains prebiotics. So I've talked about the first guideline of the shred, but I'm going to turn it over to my friend Lisa, who's going to discuss the other guidelines.
Thanks, Kristen. Hey, everybody. So I'm going to share the reasons why we do these guidelines and why they are important to the Shred 10 and the results we see during and after. Like Kristen shared before, we need to add as many plants as possible. All the different plants, you got to eat the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. And, we as many as that we can get our hands on, as well as taking our Juice Plus capsules or gummies and 1 to 2 servings of the complete shakes. So to recap a little bit of what Kristen shared, because I know after hearing something the first time, I need a little bit more of understanding, of it to really digest it. So to reiterate, so our liver needs the nutrition from plants to be able to change those toxins from being fat soluble to water soluble so that they can be eliminated from our bodies. Like she said before, we can't get rid of them if they're still fat soluble. And if our liver doesn't get the nutrition it needs, the toxins can't change and leave our bodies. So if the toxins are stuck there and can't be eliminated, it creates a whole lot of craziness going on inside of us. And a lot of the times we don't even know about it until basically we start to break down like a car on the side of the road that isn't getting service regularly. So once we have the nutrition we need that we talked about, the toxins start to change and can be eliminated. And this is where drinking plenty of water, number 3, comes in, and then exercise. And the reason why those are so important is it flushes the body of the toxins that we've now turned from fat soluble to water soluble. So we need to drink plenty of water. And then when we sweat, the toxins can be eliminated, and then also through urine and waste. And sleep is such an intricate part, and it's so important to the process. It's basically just as important as getting in the nutrition that we need for the liver to detoxify us. So let me give you an analogy. The toxins, they're like bumper cars, and they're running into each other and into our cells and tissues and organs. And when we sleep, our body can run its dishwasher cycle that washes everything inside, neutralizing and opening up those pathways so that the toxins can be eliminated, and we start to repair, our body starts to repair itself. And if we don't get enough sleep, neutralizing the oxidative stress to avoid damage, it won't be very effective. So getting into reducing and eliminating, we want to reduce or eliminate caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, and we want to also stop eating about 6 o'clock. So our digestive system is most effective when the sun is up. And when we actually stop eating at least 3 hours before going to sleep, all the energy can be used for healing and neutralizing the oxidative stress instead of having to use it to digest a big, huge meal before it does anything else in our bodies, because that's what it will go to first, is digesting. And, basically it's working the digestive system, and it really can't do anything else at that time. And if it's a big meal, it's going to take a long time for the digestion. So that's why 3 hours before we go to sleep, there should be plenty of time for everything to be digested so it can start doing all the magic. So to be honest, the last guidelines there, eliminate gluten and dairy and artificial and refined sugars, that is a hard one. But I'm going to tell you, we can't afford to not do them, especially if we're following the previous guidelines by adding the plant nutrition we need, drinking more water, exercising, and getting enough sleep. But then not following the guidelines of what we need to reduce or eliminate, our body won't go through the detoxification process properly. So here's why. The gluten and dairy, processed food, sugar, alcohol, and caffeine do one of 2 things. They tie up or block the pathways that these toxins are eliminated through. And they also add more toxins to the problem. So, we're already going to be adding more then to the existing toxins that are trying to escape. So we want to decrease the amount of toxic substances being brought in to our system so that we can keep the pathways open and running. So the guidelines give the liver the nutrition it needs to detoxify the body, to decrease the amount of inflammation in our bodies, and to support the liver at all costs. And once all of this starts working and doing its job, our bodies will start to see some fantastic results. So we, as you guys can see, we start to crave more vegetables, fruits and vegetables, which is amazing that it truly does happen. It really doesn't. The funny thing is that you can really see it with kids too, or mostly with people that don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. All of a sudden they are getting out of that, I need a sugar fix or I need something salty, and they're reaching for their fruits and vegetables more than the other. A healthier weight with the toxins gone, not wanting the fat I can't speak. The fat isn't needed to secure the toxins so that our bodies aren't, feeling all the effects of the toxins. So we are able to maintain a healthier weight, better recovery from workouts, improved sleep, increased energy, healthier hair, nails, and skin. Regularity improves, and increased mental clarity, which, literally all of these things truly happen every single time. And we actually have some great shred stories to share with you guys. And let's me get that slide on. All right, so Kristen's going to talk about these two amazing people, Tony and Joanna.
Yeah, Tony and Joanna, they are amazing. They're pretty much shred experts at this time, but Joanna approached me, it was a year in December last year, and said that she thought she wanted to start this journey. So she started, and she just purchased the Juice Plus Trio, the fruits, the veggies, and the berries initially. And she decided that she was going to start doing my workouts that I do on my business page, and she was going to join our shred group. So fast forward, she's been now shredding for a year, and she just finished a year and two. I want to say her first shred might have been in January. It might have been in December though. Let's say a year and 2 or 3 months. Joanna, if you're on our Facebook presentation, chime in somewhere in there. They have lost the slide's a little outdated since I did it in July. They have lost 95 pounds together now. So they've lost a bunch of weight. And I have to say that weight loss was not even a goal for them. They weren't really concerned about losing weight. They just wanted to be healthier. And that they are as well. Tony's cholesterol went from 220 back in 8 of 20 to 197 a year later. So that was a big improvement. Both of them say they have better energy. Tony decreased his soda intake from 1 to 2 a day to 1 every 2 weeks. So that is a win in itself, just a lifestyle, little shift in lifestyle and thinking that has really helped him to decrease his sugar. Joanna also feels like she doesn't have any bloat. Both of them feel like their energy is up and that they just have so much more vitality to them. So super proud of those shredders. What the amazing things that you can do in just 13, 14, 15 months, something like that. So congratulations, Tony and Joanna. I think you're watching somewhere. So we're really proud of you.
So awesome. And Irene, your mama is next up here.
Yeah, so this is my mom, Susan. She is a beautiful age of 72, and she had a little scare. Her doctor had told her that she was pre-diabetic, and unfortunately diabetes does run in our family, and we lost my grandmother to complications of diabetes, and she just did not want to become one of these statistics. So her doctor said, you need to make some changes. So she did. She promised herself that she was going to do these changes so she could be around for her grandbabies. So she started walking about a mile 3 times a week. She's got a local community gym. She's in Arizona. That's indoors. So she was able to walk a mile, even when it was 117 degrees outside. And then she started riding the stationary bike about 5 miles, 3 times a week. Well, since then I have been out there with her, and she made me get up in the morning at 5:30 to go to the gym with her. And now she's doing the mile, but more 4 to 5 times a week. And she's doing 7 to 9 miles a week on a day on the bike. And she's also worked in some floor exercises and some weight training on top of that. And she's just been loving the shred lifestyle. She started taking it seriously back in August when she did see that picture. And she's like, "Ooh, I got to do something." And it says that she's down 21 pounds, but she's actually down now about 27 pounds. And she, like I said, she lives the shred lifestyle. And I could not be more proud of her. And because she tests her blood sugars every day, she's now, her blood sugars are now normal. So she's not pre-diabetic anymore. And not only does she go to the gym, but she's got my dad going to the gym now. And he's starting to walk because now he had a little scare and his doctor said he needed to change the way he eats. And the shred lifestyle is perfect for both of them because it's so doable and easy. And they've got great coaches because they've got me.
I love how our shred is so, it's for everybody. So your mom has brought your dad along. Joanna got, it wasn't but 3 weeks and Tony was on board,
Right.
and the whole family, it really is for anyone from
Pregnant women,
pregnant,
kids,
yeah, the womb
everybody.
to the tomb.
Yeah,
can do
exactly.
this, so.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, that person looks familiar. Well, not so much the one on the left there. So obviously this is me, you guys. I yo-yo dieted my whole, from time I was like 26 until basically the time I was about 46, 47. And, I just decided that was it. I was done. I wanted to change my lifestyle. Didn't want to be my family's history, a lot like Irene's mom and, her family history. My dad and his dad and his brother died from complications. And I'm like, that's not going to be me since I was nearing 50. So went on this great lifestyle change and lost the weight. Well, I thought I was doing great. And I thought that I was until I started, it took me about 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years-ish. And when that's when I found Juice Plus after that. And I started to, weirdest thing, I started to kind of gain back my weight and I wasn't sure why. And so somebody said, try the shred. So I'm like, all right, I'll try the shred. So I did it, a few months and that weight dropped. Okay. At this point, I had no idea why that was happening. I just knew if they told me to do the shred, I'm going to do the shred. And it worked. And I also had really bad cystic acne at that time too. And that started to go away. And I was able to get off the medication that I had for that. Because I didn't know why that was happening. So of course, what do we do first? We go to get medication for stuff like that when we don't have the education or the understanding behind it. But what I do know is that when I started shredding, it was a different, I felt differently than I felt when I was losing my original weight. I wasn't in a fog. My skin, like I said, had cleared up, was starting to clear up, and my energy was consistent all day, which I didn't really realize until it was consistent all day than when it wasn't before. And with the no spikes or the dips, and recovery from my workouts was starting to get better as well. And I didn't understand it. But now that, I figured it out then, but I mean, could you guys imagine if I actually was shredding when I was losing that 50 pounds that I lost? I have a feeling that I would not have, probably, well, more than likely would not have put on those extra pounds that I had no idea where they came from, since I was following what I was doing the whole time. I would not have had that cystic acne because those toxins wouldn't have been running rampant. 50 pounds of toxins just having a heyday in my system. And so that's where the cystic acne came from, the weight gain, the depletion in my energy, like it was being consumed by the toxins that were into there. So if I would have actually lost this weight while shredding, my life for that, first, like probably 6 months to a year would have probably been so much it would have been so much better because I wouldn't have had all of that stuff happening. So, it was a great science lesson for me. And that's why I'm a shredder for life. And I'm so passionate to share this education with people so that they don't have to go through kind of like what I went through. When they're ready to make that lifestyle change, they can do it all at once. And that's my passion, is to help people do that, to do it all at once and not have to, swing the other way and maybe gain some weight back because they don't know what's going on, and, all the other things that can come along with it. So that is my story. And I think that Irene, now we're done with stories. Irene is going to share what's next.
That's right. So we put together a couple of bundles so you can get started on the shred. And this is probably my number one recommendation, is the shred bundle. That comes with your 4-month supply of your fruit, veggie, and berry blends, 4-month supply of your omegas, which are absolutely amazing, our omega blends. And then 60 servings of the complete whole-based shake mix. That comes out to $140 a month for 4 months, or you can look at it at $4.67 a day for 4 months. And I also wanted to just throw in too, we do have a new shake. It's called Perform. And I've actually added it into my Shred 10 bundle. So not only do I drink the complete, but I also have the Perform shake as well. And if you want more information about that, we can get you some of that. So our next bundle is our completely balanced bundle. That's our 4-month supply of fruit and veggie blends, 60 servings of our complete shake mix. That comes out to $85 a month for 4 months, or $2.83 a day for 4 months. And you get all this great nutrition for that much. Our next one is our duo.
Wait, sorry.
Hey, is our duo and our classic trio. And this is what can get you into the shred, because like we said, the shred is completely free. All you need to do is be on one of these here. The duo is your fruit and veggie blend. That's $50 a month, or $1.67 a day for 4 months. Or the trio, which is your fruit, veggie, and berry blends, and that's $75 a month for 4 months, or $2.50 a day for 4 months. And I like to look at it this way. If you go to Starbucks, which everybody is guilty of going to Starbucks, even if you don't drink coffee, because sometimes I will get a chai tea latte. But if you were to get a grande decaf soy latte, that's $5.45 a day with tip. And if you were to get the Shred 10 bundle, that's $4.67 a day, and no tip is needed. And look at all that nutrition you are going to get every single day, as opposed to that decaf soy latte that has zero nutrition. Zero. So when you do invest in your health, you're going to get 4 months of science-backed whole food nutrition that will benefit your health, whether you implement any of our Shred 10 guidelines or not. You get access to our private Facebook group, where you're going to get recipes, health tips, motivation, inspiration. We do workout challenges. We have lots of contests where you can win prizes, and it keeps you motivated along the way, because there is an accountability group that is growing every month. And our Shred group is, Kristen, can you remind me,
337, I think we're at.
337 strong, and we are always adding new members. No matter if we're in the middle of a shred or not, you can always jump into our group. And you're going to get access to our online resources, such as our Shred Guide, our Taste the Shred recipe book. We have a complete recipe book. Oh my gosh, we have an Instapot recipe book. We've got so many recipe books that are, at your fingertips, and you're going to get that all for free when you join our Shred group. So if any of this sounds good to you, if it resonates with you, then get back to the person who invited you to this talk. Or if you're listening out there in Facebook land and you like what you hear and you're curious, drop us a message and we'll get you a short video that will explain it even further. And we'll get you started on our shred. Our next one starts March 7th. and just in time to get all that you need to jump in on March 7th.
All right, and I'm gonna stop.
And
the
I think
share.
that is it.
Stop the share.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to, should I take us off Facebook or?
Yeah, bye Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. Okay.
Have a nice Wednesday. Thanks for listening.
And does anybody have any questions?
Do you want to stop the recording?
Stop the recording. Okie doke. Stopping the recording.